With profound sadness, we announce the passing of our beloved mother, grandmother, aunt, and cousin, Muriel Bridgette Charles, née Modeste, also known as Auntie Dede, originally of Monsieur Choiseul, but resided in Harlesden, London, who passed away in London on Wednesday, 5th January 2022. She was 92 years old. She was predeceased by her husband, Mr. Guillaume Charles, also known as Mr. Charlie, left to mourn two sons, Mr. Eugene Modeste, also known as Mr. Rex, and family of Clark Street, V4, Mr. Phils Allison Modeste, residing in Harlesden, London, four granddaughters, Rosie Modeste and family of Cedar Heights, V4, employee of Air Valmore and Wind Island Gas, V4, Mena Modeste of V4 Labby Bexar, Bernice Modeste and family of Black Bay, V4, proprietor of Bernice Flavors in the V4 Fishing Complex, Thaisa Modeste of Clark Street, V4, her only grandson, Mr. Ian Modeste, and family of London. Two great-granddaughters, Skylar Modeste of London, Bella Reed Modeste of V4. Great-grandson, Melon Albert of V4, student of the Mako Secondary School. Daughter-in-law, Mrs. Lucretia Modeste of Clark Street, V4. Granddaughter-in-law, Mrs. Daniela Carton Modeste and family of London. Two brothers, Mr. Lawrence Modeste and family of Wembley, London. Mr. Austin Modeste, also known as Tino, and family of Dupré Choiseul and London. Children and grandchildren of a deceased sister, Mrs. Jane Vitalien Antoine, also known as Auntie V, of Miko, Castries, and V4. Children and grandchildren of her deceased sister, Mrs. Octavia Gilbert, also known as Vina, of Monsieur Choiseul, Castries, and London. Children and grandchildren of her deceased brother, Mr. Jonah Modeste, also known as Ice Cream, of London, England. Wife, children, and grandchildren of her deceased brother, Mr. Leonard Modeste, of Wembley, London. Children and grandchildren of her deceased brother, Mr. Joseph Modeste, also known as Uncle Joy, of Monsieur Choiseul. Left to mourn many nieces, nephews, cousins in Choiseul, Castries, St. Lucia, and the United Kingdom. Family friends, Miss Helen Lionel and family of London. Mrs. Louisa Stanislas and family. Mr. Basil Henry, also known as Harrells and family. Mrs. Helen Louise and family. Mrs. Gabriella Vernil and family. Mrs. Hilda Modeste and family. Mrs. Justina Lucien and family. Mrs. Justin Modeste and family, all of London. Also left to mourn the Modeste, Charles, Daisy, Theodore, and Antoine families of Choiseul, Miko, St. Lucia, and the United Kingdom. Many families and friends, too numerous to mention. The funeral service of Muriel Bridgette Charles, née Modeste, also known as Auntie Dede, will be held on Thursday, 3rd February 2022 at the Lady of the Willesden Church, 1st Nicol Road, Harlesden, in London at 10 a.m., followed by cremation service at Kensal Green Crematorium in London, England. May she continue to rest in God's eternal peace.